Many Thais are asking, where is the limit? How far do we let these people go for the sake of tourist dollars? Hi everyone, this is me from the future. For some reason, the original video that I uploaded got demonetized, so I'm going to have to tweak this for this time round. Foreigners behaving badly in Thailand. I know, it's a shock. We've never seen anything like this before. In fact, several months ago, I've already put a clip together of some not so fantastic behavior demonstrated by some foreigners in Thailand. Now, it seems that for some reason over the past few weeks and the past few months, this has gone to crazy proportions. These clips are going all over Thai media and the foreign media here in Thailand. And so I thought I'd show a few of these things to figure out what's going on, because it seems like things are being taken to a new level. Some of the stuff that I'm going to show you, it's stuff that I've never ever seen before here in Thailand, and now that's saying something. The final clip that I'm going to show you today, for some in the West, you might think that it's not a bad thing, but honestly, through the perspective from here, I think it's probably one of the worst. Okay, compared to some of the others I'll show you today, maybe not, but I think it's very insidious. And this opens a whole can of worms of other things that foreigners are doing here in Thailand that just really make a bad name for foreigners in Thailand. So let's get started. Okay, so this first one is done in a 7-Eleven store.
Watch as this careless tourist causes chaos.
Okay, so it's a pretty bad AI voice, but look at this. So this tourist has gone into a 7-Eleven. You can see wine from smashed bottles all over the floor here. And he's standing there, I think in bare feet, in the middle of 7-Eleven, just smashing everything in sight.
In a convenience store.
He's pouring a Coke over his head. And just look at the Thais here. Now, they're keeping their calm. Could you imagine in the West? I imagine that the behavior wouldn't have been like this. I imagine they're probably messaging somebody to call for help. Actually, this doesn't look like 7-Eleven. I can see the Tops logo here, so it must be a Tops Express store.
In Pattaya, Thailand, 25-year-old Mustafa barged into a 7-Eleven store and poured a soft drink onto his head.
So this guy, Mustafa, he went in there and just poured soft drink on his head. Now, what could be leading to this? Many people know that cannabis has been opened up. Now, there's legal debate whether it's actually legal or not here in Thailand. But what I noticed, and I used to live in Sukhumvit Soi 11, so it's sort of like the heart of all of this stuff going on. I noticed it wasn't just cannabis, but the fact that that had been opened up. There are many other drugs that have been going around. This guy looks like he might be on yaba or something. It's just not normal behavior. Have a look at this. Look at that. I've actually been chased by a person before in Soi 11, and I suspect he was on yaba, and he was demonstrating very similar behavior to this. It's like he was just angry. He just wanted to go after, and his girlfriend was trying to say, stop, stop. And just for no reason, he thought something, and then he came after me. And so I suspect it's probably yaba or something. I could be wrong.
Allegedly, he then began to smash bottles of wine throughout the store, causing panic among staff.
That he's walking over broken bottles. That is not normal. He's saying, call the police. Look at that. That is insane. Look at that. Now the police have arrived.
Police quickly arrived and charged Mustafa for being drunk and disorderly.
They charged him for being drunk and disorderly. I think that is probably an understatement.
He was taken to the station to sober up, and after the store said that they didn't want to press charges, he was forced to pay 35,000 baht.
So look at that. look at what he's done there. He was taken back to sober up at the police station and eventually only paid 35,000 baht. So that's about $1,000 for what happened there. And I'm sure because they didn't want to make it a huge incident, he was let go and finished his holiday and went home. Could you imagine what would happen in the West if somebody did something like this? I don't think it would end up the same way, depending on what country you're in. But you imagine in the US, I imagine if the authorities came and they found a guy doing this, it could end up very differently. I could be wrong. I'm not an American. Anyway, so this went viral and Thais are just watching this thinking, WTF, what on earth is going on? Why is this guy doing this? Why are we letting people who can behave like this into the country? And so the next clip, I'll read it for you first, what it says in Thai. It says, ไม่เกรงใจทะเล So this guy doesn't give a crap about the ocean. นักท่องเที่ยว the tourist โชว์พฤติกรรมสุดเสื่อม shows very decrepit behavior. สูบบุหรี่กรึบเบียร์กลางทะเล PP. So just drinking a beer and having a smoke right in the middle of the ocean in PP. Now, if you've ever been to PP2, it is amazing. It's immaculate. It's this wonder of nature. And Thais would not be doing this. Have a look at this. Look at that, just in there in the ocean with a beer can and a cigarette. And it's not just one. The sound's not great there. Look at that. So right now, when a lot of Thais are thinking of foreign tourists, they think of this. You've got the white foreigners not respecting anything here, beers, cigarettes, not even trying to respect the culture or the environment. Would they do this back at home? I don't think it's legal to be swimming with beer and cigarettes in Australia. I'm not sure. And so again, this is a clip that has done the rounds on social media in Thailand, saying, why are these guys allowed in? Why are they allowed to behave like this in Thailand? What can we do to stop this? These are not the kinds of tourists that we want here in Thailand. And now this next one is also down south. So you see this down, looks like in Phuket. And in the ocean here, and there are monkeys up there. Now, there are strict rules. Do not feed the monkeys. And they know, anyone who goes there knows that you do not feed the monkeys and you have to keep your distance. But just look at what these guys do and look at the hubris they have and the disdain they have for the locals who are saying, look, please, what are you doing? Don't feed the monkeys. Okay.
Hey, not feed the monkeys. Hey, why are you feeding to the monkeys?
So they couldn't care less.
Why are you feeding to the
He's
monkeys?
just laughing at the Thai guy.
What's your problem, dude? Stop!
Hey,
What's your problem?
I'm recording. You're feeding to the monkeys.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
What's wrong?
What the F is wrong with you?
Oh
She's
my
saying
God,
back to him.
that's so
You're
bad.
an idiot!
Oh,
Sounds like an Australian.
it's crazy. Why are you feeding the monkeys? Oh my God.
Look at this.
I recorded. Okay. I will send to the government and
Idiots.
the national park staff.
Idiots.
Okay.
Absolute idiots.
Okay, good.
Look at them. Okay, so again, this is this foreigner hubris when they come here to Thailand. I don't know what happens. It's like on their flight over to Thailand, something flicks a switch and anything that would be couth, that would be normal social behavior, social etiquette is just thrown out the window and they think it's no holds barred here. And they end up doing stuff like that. But what's even worse is when the guy is saying, stop feeding the monkeys, and then he gets abused back. That is so bad. And look at them. They're just looking at this guy, laughing at him. What absolute schmucks. Look at the grin on these guys' faces. So again, Thais are thinking, why are these people coming to the country? We need to do something about it. They're destroying our country, and it's behavior like this that's ruining the experience for other people. And it's also turning Thais against tourists, which makes it not as much of a nice place for when tourists and good tourists actually come. Now, this next clip is in Pattaya, and I'll just set the scene. So you can see this guy here. What's happened? It seems that two Falang or two foreigners have been driving, and it seems that a Thai had almost been hit on his motorcycle by one of these guys, and they're accusing them of then opening the windows, chasing the Thai down and throwing a garbage bag of trash at him. And they stopped him off here, and this is where we see this scene happening here. So now the Thais have seen that this guy's been abusing the Thai, and so all the Thais jump him. And they're taking it into the 7-Eleven. And he's fighting back. So look at this, the police are in there. And he's saying he's taking my phone.
My friend, I have my phone, my phone. My phone.
Okay, so there are a few things. There are a few things to mention here. When foreigners come to Thailand, one, I think there is a perception that it's lawless, and it is definitely not lawless. And to think so, that's hubris. There is definitely law here, and the legal system here is actually quite strong. There are also traffic rules. Now, people who aren't used to the traffic in Thailand, they come here and they think, again, it's no holds barred. You can just do what you want. You don't have to stay in the lanes or whatever. But actually, I've driven here for almost 30 years. And when you drive in Thailand, it's almost like the road has its own pulse. There are definitely laws and rules that everybody follows, and you can feel it on the road as soon as there's even one person on the road that isn't following the maybe unspoken rule of the road. There are even different parts in Bangkok where you can actually feel the pulse differently. So here in Ekamai, it's different to say Lower Sukhumvit, it's different to Bang Na. And when you go to those places, you just feel the road, you feel how people are driving, and you drive accordingly, and everything goes nicely. Now, there is a high death toll here in Thailand, but in general, there are rules. And what happens is when foreigners come here, and if they're just on holidays, they just think there's absolutely no rules, and they go and do crazy stuff. And what you expect drivers to do, these guys aren't doing it, and you get people being hit like this. And I think the motorcycle rider was hit, and he was probably injured. These guys came after him, and they started abusing the motorcycle rider. I think that's the story. And then when they saw that the foreigner was attacking the Thai, well, that's never going to end well here in Thailand, and so they just set upon the foreigner here. You can see here, now all the Thais are coming up against the foreigner. I wouldn't want to be that guy walking out of here, because they're going to be watching where he goes. And he's still going, he's still abusing them. Look. Look at him, he's still screaming at them. What an idiot.
Take him! Bring him! He stopped the fight!
And he's saying, look, take him, he started the fight. You've got to understand, the rules back home are not going to apply here.
My phone, he took my phone! My phone!
He sounds like he's from the UK.
Look!
So look at that, and I think these guys, again, were taken back to the police station and probably fined. This is another tough lesson for these guys, and he's lucky he can walk out of there alive. If you're in Thailand and you start attacking a local, whether you think you're in the right or not, if other people are watching it, don't expect it to end well for you. Now, staying on the topic of road rage, check this out. Okay, so the guy's saying, look at this, he's drunk. So look at it, this guy, obviously something's happened here. And again, this guy looks like he's pretty fresh in the country. He's probably got a rental. He thought that the road rules from overseas applied, and he did something and it's been hit. He comes out and he starts abusing this other driver. And look at him, he's picking a fight, saying, come out. If you do that, you saw the last clip when everybody turned against him. Say that was a Thai in the car and he starts attacking. this guy would be lucky to walk away alive. You just do not do this. You don't know who's got a weapon in the car or who's doing what, but look at this. Okay, he's speaking with a southern accent, so this must be in Phuket. Look at that, an idiot. This guy, you just do not do that. And it looks like this is definitely a Thai in the car here. You can see it's not a rental. So he's coming out, he's abusing a local, but doing what this guy did is a bad idea. And whether you think you were in the right or not, chances are you were in the wrong. And just for the fact that you're not a local, well, you're in the wrong, because the written law and the unspoken law are very different. Many Thais are saying on social media, why are we letting these guys in to do this sort of stuff? Why are we allowing them to get away with it? You saw that guy in the beginning that was smashing all the bottles. All they did was take him back to the police station to sober up. He paid a fine, probably not even covering the cost of all of the things that were damaged in the shop, let alone the business and potential business that they would have lost as a result of that incident. Yet the Thais, they stayed dayen, just cool-hearted, and they let him do his thing, took him back and let him go. Many Thais are asking, where is the limit? How far do we let these people go for the sake of tourist dollars? Now, this last clip that I'm going to show you, this is one that I mentioned. For some people, it might not be a bad thing in the West, but for some people, just the hubris of it, and through a Thai's eye, just the fact that somebody is welcomed into the country only to do this, it makes many Thais not want to extend those privileges to foreigners anymore. So what this says in Thai is "Tang chat buk wat." So foreigners break into a temple. Basically, this word "buk" means to sort of rampage, going into. And then below that it says "Pai Phae Sasana." So what's happened are these people, under the guise of being English teachers, but actually they're missionaries, got into a wat, so a Buddhist temple, and then rather than just using it as an opportunity to teach English, they actually preach and try and convert all of the Buddhist monks, and here they are novice monks, to Christianity, and they turn it into a full church service.
Jesus, hallelujah. Clap your hand for Jesus. We do not do this. Jesus did it. Jesus did it. Clap your hand. Thank you. And I'm sorry.
And so you can see here, just like in a church service, they've called these monks out and they've been praying for them. And of course, they've never seen anything like this. And of course, this whole thing of greng jai in Thai, you don't want to make somebody look bad. So of course, they're going to say yes and say what they think they want them to say. And they're doing this in lieu of actually teaching them English.
Some, two. I rebuke every sickness to go. I rebuke every... And
so here, they're basically doing an altar call and a prayer service for these monks, and they're praying to cast out healing, cast out demons and all of this other thing. And you can imagine these monks in there, they're thinking, what is this? Okay, we'll just go along. And look at them, you know, kudos to them. They're just going along with it. But the hubris of the Westerners that come in and do this sort of thing. One of the things that makes Thailand beautiful is that there's no discrimination really of religion. It's not like, say, you go to some other countries, you go to Indonesia and religion is baked into the Pancasila, or the constitution there, or in Malaysia or in other places. But here, yeah, it's a Buddhist country, but you have Muslims, you have Christians, you have atheists, you have the whole gamut. And people are just left to be in peace. And there you have this monk saying, actually, the head of the monastery didn't give permission for them to do this. And so sadly, this theme of foreigners behaving badly in Thailand, you can see it not just with tourists, it's with people who are here long term. Another thing that I've seen just in the past few weeks are foreigners who come in. And again, it's this notion that, okay, Thailand is lawless, you can do what you want. Even though the law says this, you can do what you want. The law in Thailand is very different to the law in the West, and the way that you run things are very different. But you don't just have a carte blanche to do whatever you want. And so I see foreigners coming here, they set up businesses and they think, oh yeah, the business rules say you do this, but it doesn't matter, we can do this. Or they say that you need a visa or you need to hire people who have the right visa to be able to work. That's okay. We'll just hire illegals here or hire people on a student visa because we can get them for cheap. This is not cool. And these kinds of people are ruining it for everybody that's actually tried to do the right thing here in Thailand. Thailand is an amazing place. It's an amazing place to visit. It's an amazing place to live. And the thing that makes it amazing is this flexibility that you're losing in the West. But this flexibility isn't there just so you can take advantage of it and do what you want. You fit in with it, you become part of it, and you just go with it. And that's what makes it such a beautiful place. But these people just coming in and having the arrogance to do this thing, whether it's just going in saying you're going to teach English, but you're actually there with an ulterior motive to convert them to Christianity, or these road rage things, or the thing feeding the monkeys. And when people are saying stop doing it, they just sort of look down on the locals and start telling them to go and F off. This sort of thing is just so bad. And it's giving foreigners a bad name, and it's just going to make things worse for foreigners, whether you're doing business here or whether you're visiting here as a tourist in the long run. Now, I mentioned Kun Anutin, there was word of a new division being opened up to take care of these issues because it's actually having an impact on tourism. From the Thai side, it's making Thais not want to service certain demographics. And from a foreigner side, some foreigners seeing this sort of thing thinking, do I really want to come to Thailand? And so I'd say to everybody, still come to Thailand, but just please respect the local norms, the local rules. Sit and observe how people are behaving and behave like that. You go into a temple, you don't see people taking off their shirts actually anywhere within the city, unless you're on a beach. You don't see people taking their shirts off, so don't do it. You don't see people walking around barefoot in the middle of the city, so don't do it. It's just simple respect. Guys look at this kind of behavior and they think, who brought you up? What kind of place is it where you don't even know these basic fundamental things of living in a society? If you do want to learn more about the Thai mind, not just the language, that's why I put Cracking Thai Fundamentals together, a Thai operating system for the mind. Because when you learn a language, it's not just about the language, but it's the whole operating system here. So if you are in Thailand, grab a copy. You can click on the link below. Otherwise, you can get a copy via Amazon. But I'd encourage everybody, before you come to Thailand, or if you're living in Thailand, learn a bit more about the culture, learn some of the language and try and respect it. Don't just see it as this foreigner bubble that's lawless and you can do what you want while you're here, and it's going to be much better for everybody. I'm Stuart J. Raj. I'll see you on the other side.